I welcome you all on our new channel. This time I'm talking to the two co-founders how the idea came that they start this NGO. So what was the first idea that you built your NGO on?
And when we met and started to discuss to each other, we discovered that we have to learn each other better, to understand each other better, and then we found that many companies, smaller companies, especially middle-sized companies, they are interested to come in contact with China or from the Chinese side with Europe, that they have the same problem like us, that we have to learn to understand that people in Europe and China have a different culture, different types of working, different understanding of working. And yeah, that was the starting point. That we found out there are a lot of differences, and we have to start to understand these differences first of all.
You are an experienced businesswoman. How do you see this difference between the Chinese way of thinking and the European way of thinking concerning business? Is it too different?
Oh, it's a big difference.
Really?
Yes, China is from the eastern side of the world, and we are Oriental. And also, as an Asian country with like 5,000 years of history, we have our guidance about our morality and our behavior. So we actually have like a strong character, let's say this, as Chinese. And so the way how we communicate a lot of times is not even just by words. It's by how we do body reaction, how we understand each other. A lot of meanings actually is behind our culture and history. That's, we understand it, not only just by words. So this is actually something that we are so proud of our 5,000 years history. And then it will stay forever with us for sure. And it will be very difficult for us to adapt to the European way. And the European mentality is much more direct and open. And they like to go straight to the point. But for us, we always stay like neutral, and we like to learn and understand, and then we will. And for us, most important thing is like we never think it's like black and white. We always think that there's always some other possibilities or some other solutions, because from our philosophical guidance, from our ancient philosophies, we actually have lots of way of thinking. For example, one of my favorite quotes is, all rivers run into the ocean. In Chinese, it's called 海纳百川. And then actually, that's what we are doing. We try to embrace a lot of things, and I think that's what China is doing following BRI initiative. I mean, we really embrace the ocean, we are welcoming, and we want to work with everybody. And the way how we behave through this kind of attitude is also very different.
What was the biggest problem you faced when you met European business persons?
Absolutely, understanding and trust. The first is understanding, and every time when they talk to me, they said if they cannot really work with China, is that the communication really put obstacles and barriers, because they don't know what we are thinking. They think we are too close. We don't really share what we are thinking, and they don't get too much information from us, so they don't understand what we really think. But it's indeed true, because we also have like another saying that silence is gold. So.
Sometimes silence is not so good. If you want to make business, you have to speak up.
Indeed, that's the reason why. I think we also need to understand the European way, that they want to build a dialogue. They want us to be more open and to tell what we really think. So that's actually now, our NGO will really do it. We will be more open, and we understand both sides of culture. Working with you, and then he also teach me a lot of mentality from European side, from German, so that's very helpful. Then we understand what is a boundary, and what the same thing really concern. And we also understand trust is another issue. When you are doing cross-border business, they don't know where you're from, even though you have a company title or person title, but trust never comes free or from the first meeting. It's never like this. Even in Europe, you need to meet with a person and to try something, or to build more conversation, or you need to also get referred from people you really trust. Then you build the trust slowly. But then once China is so far away from Europe that you need to travel like 15 hours to get to China, you don't have all the time to go to China frequently. And then without the time, convenience, then it's difficult to meet often, to build the channel, to understand each other often. And that's what we think, that we would like to build this platform to build a more effective dialogue, that we know both sides' culture and mentality. And we want to build this bridge with a more open, honest conversation, direct conversation, by knowing each other's regulation and way of doing business, and also to help to build up the trust.
What was your biggest obstacle when you met Chinese businessmen and businesswomen?
The first point was that they are very fast, very quick. They are interested to do a decision immediately. And in Germany, especially in Germany, I come from Germany, we take more time to consider decisions. And the other point, I visited the first time of my life in my life China last March, and I saw that China is investing a lot of money. And in Germany and in Europe, the German government has a big influence in Europe, in the European Union, and they force the European Union to follow more or less the German style of policy. And that means we should save money. And I saw that in China invests money. It's a complete different approach, and this investment is intended to support and to encourage economy, and in a way the Chinese style is really to support that the Chinese economy will be developed themselves, and in Europe we try to save money, and we don't have a clear picture what kind of industrial policy or economic policy we should do. So it's often difficult to compare that and to deal with this entirely different speed of decision making and of dealing with money and investment. That was, from my point of view, a really big obstacle. And another point, it might be more related to my generation, but we have still a picture in mind of, or images in mind of China, like 30 years, 40 years ago, when it was more or less a non-developed country. And we call it sometimes still a non-developed country, or check it as a non-developed country, but it is entirely wrong. If you go to Beijing or to Shenzhen or Guangzhou, that are really developed places, and industry and the science is in some fields ahead of Europe meanwhile. And it is everything but any more a non-developed country. So we have to change our view to China and our pictures and images we have in mind.
So we can say, to end this discussion, that the mutual understanding between you, the Chinese and the European way of thinking, is now done. So you can do the business together because you can already understand each other. Yes?
And
much better.
Much better.
And one thing to add up, really crucial.
Yes.
If you want to really know how China is, please really go to China and spend some time to meet people there, to talk with the people there, and meet with the company, and see the whole city and feel the economy. Then you will really know.
Okay, thank you very much that you stayed with us today. Goodbye.